Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. I offer my humble obeisance unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vasudeva. Narayanam namaskrityam naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayam udirayet. Before reciting Srimad Bhagvatam, which is the very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisance unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Narayana, unto Narayan Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasadeva, the author of Srimad Bhagvatam. Nashtaprayeshu abhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naishtiki. By regular attendance in the classes on Srimad Bhagvatam and by rendering service unto the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed, and loving service unto the Personality of Godhead, who is praised with transcendental songs, is established as an irrevocable fact. Guruve Gaura Chandraya Radhikaya Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namaha. Hare Krishna, dear Vaishnavas, thank you so much for joining. We are reading Srimad Bhagvatam, Canto 7, Chapter 5, Prahlad Maharaj, the saintly son of Hiranyakashipu. So we read till text number 35 yesterday, and we were discussing how Hiranyakashipu was so angered upon hearing the response from Prahlad that one should take shelter of Krishna, one should take the dust of the lotus feet of Vaishnavas, and he was so angry, blinded by anger, and immediately wanted to kill Prahlad because he felt that Prahlad is the cause of all problems, so let's kill him. So anger is very, very disastrous. I was hearing today morning a lecture about the same topic. So a few things, the do's and don'ts. Whenever we get angry, one must never make a decision in anger, or not speak anything when one is angry. The best thing is to just pause for some time, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, take a deep breath and just try to procrastinate. The decisions which we will make when we are angry or when we are too happy or too sorrow are often not the wise decisions, and often we lament on those later. So the best thing is not to speak anything and just procrastinate. Just go out of that situation, go for a walk, go and take your japamala, just procrastinate that, and after some time we will be in a better state, because that's a door to hell. So let's continue and see what happened when Hiranyakashipu asked that Prahlad should be killed immediately because he is the servant of Vishnu. So text number 36. Vishnurva sadhava asau kimno karishyati asamnigyasaha sauhridam dushtajam pitrur ahadya panchahayanaham. Translation by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Although Prahlad is only 5 years old, even at this young age, he has given up his affectionate relationship with his father and mother. Therefore, he is certainly untrustworthy. Indeed, it is not at all believable that he will behave well toward Vishnu. So Hiranyakashipu is completely astonished, and actually Prahlad had not given up his affectionate relationship. Prahlad Maharaj was, fell at the feet of his father. He was not speaking ill about his father. He was not, disobedient towards the father. But actually his father was the one who felt like this. So often, people take to Krishna consciousness and that the general observation is that they become more caring towards the parents. Even if they are in the brahmacharya ashram, they are better caretakers of their parents than, someone who is in a foreign land, thousands of miles away. What care can, apart from, those brahmacharis are doing better care. And this is a common topic, in India. A lot of media coverage was also there. And His Holiness Radha Govind Maharaj was explaining on this topic that devotee means ideal human being. Prahlad Maharaj was very respectful, very kind, very affectionate in his relationship towards his mother and father. But the father felt like that he is not doing what I want to do, and the father wanted to do him was not follow the path of bhakti. That is a problem, which the father had. Prahlad Maharaj was absolutely fine. He was the best son, the best devotee, and best in every aspect, which every parent would aspire to get a child like Prahlad. But the father felt that no, he's given up our relation. That is not the truth, actually. But sometimes, due to lot of selfish agendas and lot of unreasonable expectations, this kind of situation may arise. But a devotee is always very kind and very caring and does one's best to take care of everyone, because he is the well-wisher of everyone. Why will such a person not be well-wisher of his or her parents? Certainly they are. Any other comments or questions?
Yeah, I have one question here. So the last sentence in the translation, it says, indeed, it's not at all believable that he will behave well toward Vishnu. I don't follow that. Can you elaborate? Thank you.
Yes, that's a very nice point, actually. And I remember when I was hearing the lecture. So now Hiranyakashipu is saying that he is untrustworthy. Well, today he's taking the side of Vishnu, but tomorrow he will take the opposite side also. So he is not trustworthy. So that's what Maharaj was explaining when I was recently hearing those lectures. It is not at all believable that he will behave well. That means he can, of course, that is Hiranyakashipu's thought. That is not Prahlad Maharaj. A devotee never gives up. But, demonic people or so-called, they may think, okay, he's child. Let him do some Hare Krishna. After all, he doesn't know what is right. Once he'll get some little hardships in life, then he'll understand bhakti is no joke. Then he'll come back to his senses. So does that make sense?
Yes, thank you. Go.
Okay, let's read the next verse. 37.
Is he not behaving? Is he saying that he cannot believe just because he's born to Hiranyakashipu and he is behaving well towards Vishnu? So he cannot believe that he's behaving well towards Vishnu. So is it literal or is it sarcastic? Because here he's saying he cannot believe that he will behave well towards Vishnu. So I feel it is because he is born to Hiranyakashipu, but Vishnu is his enemy and he's siding with the enemy. Mm-hmm. I don't think it means that he's not going to behave well with Vishnu.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I shared what Maharaj said. So this is like future. He will behave. So he already knows that he's behaving like, positively towards his enemy, that's Vishnu. But in future also, Hiranyakashipu is thinking like that. And I just repeated, what I heard from Radha Govind Maharaj, who is a very, very nice Vishnu. Yes. Thank you. You wanted to?
Yeah, there is just one sentence there in that connection. There is a commentary by Hare Krishna Prabhu's Dandvat everybody. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is saying that what Hiranyakashipu is thinking, that Vishnu should not be believed. How could a person who is intelligent put faith in him? And of course, as you said, that he's considered he's a child. As you said, a child is right now, he's believing, but as the time goes, he's my son. And as the time goes, he will give up this idea of believing the Vishnu. That's all. Thank you.
Yes. And why is Hiranyakashipu thinking like, thank you, Prabhu? Because he's like kind of scared that this child is in front of me, is speaking like this. So we'll see that very soon, that how this is. And when a person is scared, then the person tries to think of things which will kind of give him some solace. Okay, now he is not taking my side, but later now he's taking Vishnu's side, but later he's a child, he'll give up him also, Vishnu also. So that is kind of favorable, gives some solace to Hiranyakashipu. And often people think like that. Okay, now my child is taking to this Hare Krishna. After some time he'll come. It is no joke too. Something like that.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Okay, let's read the next verse. Someone who didn't read yesterday.
I can read, Prabhu.
Please.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam to everyone. Paropi aptayam hita krita yatha yupadham swadehajo api amya vat hita chindat tad angam yada utatmano hitam shesham sukham jiviti yadvi varjanata. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Although a medicinal herb being born in forest does not belong to the same category as a man, if beneficial, it is kept very carefully. Similarly, if someone outside one's family is favorable, he should be given protection like a son. On the other hand, if a limb of one's body is poisoned by disease, it must be amputated so that the rest of the body may live happily. Similarly, even one's own son, if unfavorable, must be rejected, although born of one's own body. Purport. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has instructed all devotees of the Lord to be humbler than the grass, and more tolerant than trees. Otherwise, there will always be disturbance to their execution of the devotional service. Here is a vivid example of how a devotee is disturbed by a non-devotee. Even though the non-devotee is an affectionate father, the material world is such that a non-devotee father becomes an enemy of a devotee son, having determined to kill even his son. Hiranyakashipu gave the example of amputating a part of one's body that has become septic and therefore injurious to the rest of the body. The same example, of course, may also be applied to the non-devotees. Chaitanya Chanakya Pandita advises, Taja Turjana Samsargam Bhaja Sadhu Samakamam. Devotee actually serious about advancing in spiritual life should give up the company of the non-devotees and always keep company with the devotees. To be too attached to material existence is ignorance, because material existence is temporary and miserable. Therefore, devotees who are determined to perform tapasya, penance and austerities to realize the self, and who are determined to become advanced in spiritual consciousness must give up the company of atheistic non-devotees. Prahlad Maharaj maintained an attitude of non-cooperation with the philosophy of his father, Hiranyakashipu, yet he was tolerant and humble. Hiranyakashipu, however, being a non-devotee, was so polluted that he was even prepared to kill his own son. He justified this by putting forward the logic of amputation. So here, the Prabhupada has very mentioned nicely about the demonic mentality of the Hiranyakashipu. Basically, he is judging through his own his materialistic mind, blinded by anger. That is why we also see in our material life also, people easily judge through someone else. If someone is not listening to me, then I may immediately conclude, oh, maybe this guy is not trustworthy, and I don't think so anybody can trust this guy. So that is why Hiranyakashipu is thinking towards the Prahlad Maharaja, a small little boy, 5 years old. So the key is here, Prabhupada is saying that humble and tolerance. Otherwise, you are going to get disturbed for in your devotional service. If someone says to you something, it is up to you how you are going to digest that. If that is going to affect you, then probably I understand that is a disturbance in the devotional service. And another example here, Prahlad Maharaj's attitude towards the Hiranyakashipu, even though it is a non-cooperation, but is because of his father, yet he was very tolerant and humble towards to his father. So this is a very important point here, how one should be devotee, should behave in this material world, and how humble and tolerant he should be. Otherwise, your goal, you are not going to achieve your goal. And also Prabhupada is saying that your association is supposed to be always with the devotees, and you should basically cut down the association with the non-devotees, which is also one of the disturbance to your devotional service. That's my understanding, Prabhu. Please explain. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Prabhu. A few verses back, we learned another analogy which Shan and Amarka were speaking. Oh, he's like a thorn in the sandalwood tree. Pretty much same. If a thorn bush has grown in the sandalwood tree, let's take it off. If a body limb, let's say if someone gets really a very bad disease in one's toe, what will be they'll try to get it somehow cured, but if the doctor says no, either you save yourself or this will expand into other parts of the body. So one will say, okay, I can live without the toe, take off my toe, but I want to save my body. So that's the amputation logic here. But a very practical lesson. Devotees actually serious about advancing in spiritual life should give up the company of non-devotees and always keep company with devotees. Very, very important lesson Prabhupada is sharing and Chanakya Pandit is quoting. So that's a test actually. It will come. So sometimes this is a difficult test actually. So we have to always keep, is this association helpful in my Krishna consciousness, or is it further binding me into the material world? So always under the guidance of senior Vaishnavas, you have to make those decisions, because otherwise your consciousness will be affected. Association has a very, very, very deep impact at gross and subtle level both. Any other comments anyone has?
Yeah, Hare Krishna. As the Prabhuji who read, he mentioned, here the Hiranyakashipu is asking to them to kill. So his people are saying, how can we kill your son? He's your son. So then the Hiranyakashipu is giving the example, and you all explained very nicely, but here is one point important, is that he is saying that the person who is not born in the family, if he is beneficial to me, then I should treat him like a son. But in this case, my son is unbeneficial to me. As he is giving the example of the limb. The limb, if unbeneficial oneself, should be cut off. So he is telling that limb is unbeneficial because it's causing me trouble to my whole body. So cut off. Similarly, this son, who is unbeneficial for me, what I expect him to do, is not doing it. So cut him up, just kill him. That's what he is trying to say in this shloka, practically to the people.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. Any other comments or questions before we move on? Okay. Prabhu, you want to read?
Hare Krishna Guru Dandavatsam. Hare Krishna devotees Dandavatsam. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Text 38. Sarve upaye hantavya sambhaja shayanashanai suritilinga thara shatrur muner dushtam ibendriyam. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Just as uncontrolled senses are the enemies of all yogis engaged in advancing spiritual life, this Prahlad, who appears to be a friend, is an enemy because I cannot control him. Therefore, this enemy, whether eating, sitting, or sleeping, must be killed by all means. Purport. Hiranyakashipu planned a campaign to kill Prahlad Maharaj. He would kill his son by administering poison to him while he was eating, by making him sit in boiling oil, or by throwing him under the feet of an elephant while he was lying down. Thus Hiranyakashipu decided to kill his innocent child, who was only 5 years old, simply because the boy had become a devotee of the Lord. This is the attitude of non-devotees towards devotees. Hare Krishna. So here Srila Prabhupada is explaining, revealing to us Hiranyakashipu's thinking, how he was thinking. But if we look at the translation looks like Hiranyakashipu is, if you just take this translation, it seems like he's saying that uncontrolled senses are the enemies of all yogis. And it's true for us, and true for everybody. So he's saying the nice word, but his thinking is different. And Prabhupada is revealing. So that's the benefit of reading Prabhupada's purport. Actually, it's revealing the actual meaning of. And Prabhupada is saying that how the non-devotees work. They will try every possible opportunities to destroy the devotees. Hare Krishna Guru, back to you, please, Edward.
Thank you, Prabhu. Prahlad Maharaj, Hiranyakashipu is saying that he appears to be like a friend, but actually is my enemy. And that's exactly what the uncontrolled senses are. They appear that they will give me pleasure. They will do what I ask them to do. Oh, the eyes will see something beautiful, the nose will smell something beautiful, the skin wants to touch something beautiful, and they think, oh, and the person feels, wow, these are my true friends. They're giving me a lot of so-called pleasure. But actually, they are the enemies. They are destroying this, their atmagha. They're destroying the soul. They're destroying this consciousness. The uncontrolled senses are the biggest enemies for yogis, bhakti yogis. And we have seen so many examples. So, but the problem is that we consider them as friend. They appear to be friend. The mind appears to be, the uncontrolled mind appears to be friend, as Bhagavad Gita says. But when it is, the uncontrolled mind is actually a worst enemy. So one needs good association, good reading, hearing, sadhana, seva, so that we can truly understand who is our best friend, who is our enemy. Not the friend who has taken the garment of a friend but actually is trying to kill us. That's the uncontrolled mind and senses. That's the non-devotee association, who may appear to be nice friends. Oh, let's hang out, let's go to the bar, let's eat, drink, be merry, enjoy life, I'm your friend. They appear to be friends, but actually it's so degrading for us and pollutes our consciousness. So we should be very careful. Any other comments or questions? One Prabhu has a note. He's saying, I see a persistent note with Hiranyakashipu, and this is trying to remain the controller, and because Prahlad Maharaj was a devotee of the Lord, he couldn't. This because a devotee serves under the will of the Lord, and the Lord cannot be controlled. So nice. Yeah, because devotee just wants to do the Lord's way, and demoniac wants to do their way. Trying to be the controller. Very nice comment. Okay, any Matajis want to read, please?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu, I can read.
Please.
Dandavat pranam to everyone. Hare Krishna, text 39 and 40. Nairutyaste samadvishta bhadrave shulapanayah timra drashta karala syat ambrasha shru shiro ruhaha nandante bhairavam nadam chindi bindinti vadinah asina chahana shule prahladam sarva varmasu. Translation by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The demons, Rahsasa, the servant of the Hiranyakashipu, thus began striking the tender parts of Prahlad Maharaja's body with their tridents. The demons all had fearful faces, sharp teeth, and reddish coppery beards and hair, and they appeared extremely threatening, making a tremulous sound, shouting, chop him up, pierce him. They began striking Prahlad Maharaja, who sat silently meditating upon the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So this is the next step they were doing after the instruction from the Hiranyakashipu, and they were trying to scare Prahlad Maharaja when he was meditate on Lord Krishna. And that is the worst part, actually, when someone is doing the nice seva, and this Rakshasas and demons, they are attacking on the Prahlad Maharaja. Back to you, Prabhu. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Let's put ourselves in this situation of Prahlad Maharaj. Can you please mute your phone? Let's put ourselves in this situation of Prahlad Maharaj. 5-year-old boy. Hiranyakashipu is the king of the whole world. And his Rakshasas are no ordinary people either. They are very, very powerful. We discussed before in chapter 2, I believe 3, what kind of different categories of Rakshasas he had. Very, very powerful. And with their sharp weapons, they are striking sarva marma, the tender parts, because they are very expert, Like if a bullet hits someone's feet, will the person be dead or no? You all will say, no, he will get some injury, but he will not be dead. Because it is not the marma part. It is not a very tender part of the body. It is an important part. But if the bullet strikes someone's, heart or the head, then the probability of survival is very, very low. Because it is the marma part. It is a tender part. Similarly, these Rakshasas were very, very expert in striking the tender parts of the body so that he can be killed. They were very, very fearful. The description, just imagine ourselves surrounded by these kind of creatures who had very sharp teeth and coppery and full of anger and fearful faces. And not only that, they are tumultuously together saying, kill him, chop him, pierce him. You just imagine these tumultuous sound. Such extraordinary, fearful environment, and Prahlad was silently meditating. No doubt, Prahlad Maharaj is the Acharya of Smaranam. That is complete 100% absorption in Krishna. That no matter what may come, he is always absorbed in bhakti. That is Prahlad Maharaj. Just by thinking of that scene, we feel fearful. Why are they loudly shouting? To create more fear. Because, kill him, and that's how the war would happen. Out of passion, lot of anger. Some are striking the parts of Prahlad's body with their sharp weapons. Some are, instigating fear. If we just transpose ourselves to that situation, just thinking of that, brings fear. But Prahlad Maharaj, complete absorption, complete 100% absorbed, the Acharya of Smaranam. That is Prahlad Maharaj, the unalloyed devotee. So much to learn from this example. The lesson is that, okay, Krishna will not test us to this degree, but there would be some minor challenges, minor difficulties, much, much smaller than what Prahlad Maharaj had to go through. But if we can remember Krishna in those situations, then it is success. And we don't give up our bhakti path in spite of all the ups and downs. That is the success. Anyone has any other comments or questions?
Yeah, just one comment to remind that this is Bhadra again. Russian devotees were not exactly exalted like that, but they were before heavy preaching started in Russia. It was like that by the what you call KGBs, giving them drugs, giving what kind of swords and all this. Devotees were treated like that in Russia before, and it's nice to on the YouTube they hear the preaching in Russia in the beginning days. I was listening and opened my eyes how this devotees, not just the devotees in Russia, but the devotees, how our devotees from here went there. Harikesh Prabhu, who was Maharaj, and Kirtiraj Prabhu and all these devotees, how they had to go through so much difficulties to preach in Russia. So it's worth to listen to see how the Russian devotees had gone through so much difficulties. So much. Even the Mataji who was pregnant and was being tortured and killed and whatever. Anyhow, just to remind us. But still, they had continued chanting Hare Krishna. That was one thing about this Russian devotees. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhu. Okay, would someone like to read text 41? Anyone? Didn't get a chance yesterday.
I can read, Prabhuji.
Yes, please.
Hare Krishna devotees, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Text 41. Pare Brahmani Oniradashe Bhagavati Okila Atmani Ukta Ta Mani Afala Ashan Opu Niyastabha Shatkriya. Translation purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. Even though a person who has no assets in pious activities performs some good deed, it will have no result. Thus, the weapons of the demons had no tangible effects upon Prahlad Maharaj because he was a devotee, undisturbed by material conditions and fully engaged in meditating upon and serving the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is unchangeable, who cannot be realized by material senses, and who is the soul of the entire universe. Purport. Prahlad Maharaj was constantly and fully engaged in the thought of Supreme Personality of Godhead. As it is said, Govinda Puri Rambhita. Prahlad Maharaj engaged himself always in meditation, and thus he was protected by Govinda. Just as a small child on the lap of his father or mother is fully protected, a devotee in all conditions is protected by the Supreme Lord. Does this mean that when Prahlad Maharaj was attacked by the demons, the Rakshasas, Govinda was also attacked by the demons? This is not possible. There have been many attempts by the demons to hurt or kill the Supreme Personal Godhead, but he cannot be injured by material means because he is always in transcendence. Therefore, the words Pare Brahmani are used here. The demons, the Rakshasas, can neither see nor touch the Supreme Lord, although they may superficially think that they are striking the Lord's transcendental body with their material weapons. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is described in this verse as Oniradasya. We cannot understand him to be in a particular place, for he is well pervasive. Moreover, he is Okhilatma, the active principle of everything, even material weapons. Those who cannot understand the position of the Lord are unfortunate. They may think that they can kill the Supreme Personal Godhead and his devotee, but all the attempts will be futile. The Lord knows how to deal with them. So in this verse we see that Prahlad Maharaj, who is constantly in meditation of at the lotus feet of the Lord, always protected by the Lord like a father, and he is our Supreme Father. Who surrenders unto him, he protects. He said in the Gita, Name Bhakta Pranashyati. And we see that non-devotees, actually they are inimical to the Lord. They try to kill the Lord, even it's in the Bhagavatam, trying to kill the Lord again and again, but they cannot touch the Lord because he's in transcendental. Material weapons cannot destroy the Lord. So their anger falls upon the devotees. But still, devotees are protected by the Lord. We saw that Haridas Thakur, even beaten by in 22 marketplace, he is not injured, and Lord himself took all the pain on his back. So his devotee is always protected by the Lord. And here there is some adjectives was in this sloka given to the Lord, that Oni Reddasya. That means Lord is all pervasive. Lord is everywhere. He can protect his devotee from sitting in Vaikuntha, from there. Lord is Okilatma. That means Lord is everything. Atma, the soul, and Okil means everywhere. He is everywhere. Even he is in the weapons of the non-devotee. But the demons cannot understand the Lord and always are inimical to the Lord and his devotees, though they always get defeated by the Lord. Back to Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. So devotee is always under the shelter of Krishna. So such a person, such an unalloyed, pure soul cannot be harmed by anyone. Because Krishna says, Name Bhakta Pranashyati, my devotee will never perish. And to protect my devotee, even I can break my vow. I can go to any extent to protect my devotee. I can take any role to protect my devotee, but my devotee will never perish. Like the parent, the mother and father, they will sacrifice their life to protect their children's life. The Lord is like that. And we know no one can kill the Lord or his devotees. So that's the love of the Lord towards his devotee. Prabhuji gave a nice example of Haridas Thakur. Who covered Haridas Thakur? That was Lord Chaitanya. He covered Haridas Thakur. Therefore, there was not even a mark of, any whipping or anything, because the Lord covers his devotee. The Lord, there are so many pictures which we'll see maybe tomorrow or day after, how the Lord was always with the devotee. And actually the Lord is with everyone, but the pure souls have realized it. The Lord is there to help us, to protect us at every time. But I think, no, my wealth will protect me. No, my strength will protect me. No, my education will protect me. The problem is lack of faith in the Lord's protection. But look at Prahlad Maharaj's faith. He didn't say, Lord, please come protect me. He was just absorbed. Thousands of these Rakshasas are surrounding him and trying to kill him with weapons in so many ways. He's just absorbed. He is not like doubt, will the Lord come? Maybe. What if he doesn't come? Complete faith. Any other comments or questions?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandat Pranam. Yeah, you nicely explained, and Bipul Prabhu also very nicely explained about how the Lord comes. And also I was hearing a lecture. It was said that the Lord doesn't actually need to come to kill the demons or even protect the devotees. He wants to have the rasa with the actual devotees. That is the reason he comes. With just a thought, he can destroy everything, and with just a thought he can protect. But to have that loving relationship with his pure devotee, that's why the Lord comes. So that's why it says here that like a mother who protects his child, she wants to have that love relationship, that is it compared. But thank you. Yes. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. Anyone else? Any other comments or questions before we pause for today?
So can I tell a quick story? So it is between Shamrat Akbar and Birbal. So King Akbar was asking Birbal why in Vedic literature Lord has to come always to save the devotee. Why he cannot send his ministers or other people or devotees to protect? Why he has to come? So what the Birbal did, he asked a person to make a doll of his grandson and to keep it in the bank of the river, and told them to push that doll who looks like the grandson of Akbar when he comes there and throw the doll in the river. So when Birbal and Akbar coming to the close to the bank of the river, so as per the direction of the Birbal, one of his associates pushed the doll, looks like a grandson, to the water. Right away, Akbar ran and jumped in the water to save his grandson. So, but then he realized it's actually a doll. And then he came out and asked Birbal what happened. Then Birbal asked, why did you jump the king? There's so many helpers, ministers are around. They could save your grandson. Why did you jump on the river? Then Birbal said, he's my grandson. I'll not wait for other people to protect my grandson. Then Birbal said that is the relationship of the Lord with his devotees. He'll not wait for other people or his associates to protect the Lord. He'll always come right away to protect his devotees. Back to Prabhuji. Thank you.
Thank you. That was a wonderful story. Thank you. Okay, so we will pause here and continue tomorrow morning. It's Saturday with the next verse. Grantraj Srimad Bhagvatam ki jai, Shri Prahlad Maharaj ki jai, Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Samaveta Gaura Bhaktavinda ki jai. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.